Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 5.18 and chapter is cost volume profit analysis CVP. And here you can see that it's basic concept cell and we are going to calculate our missing data. Here there is some sort of explanations given in the question. The thing is you have several income statements present over here. Look at the volume of question. It's not ending, and yes, this is end. So there are several ways of, uh, there are several contribution margin income statements are present over here, though our statements are, would be demonstrated by vertical way from up to downward, but here horizontal way is chosen from left to right. So what work we will do, we will make these statements vertical first, then it would be easy for you to calculate the missing figures. The second thing is it has been mentioned over here as well to make contribution margin income statement. So in this way we are making four income statements for the first part and we are making four income statement for case B. And here second thing which you would be willing to know is answers are present over here. Okay, so we will calculate on left side and we'll confirm our answer from the right side. So come over here. Now phenomena you have understood is what we will be making 4 plus 4 income statements, and since income statement is incomplete over here, you need to calculate all missing figures which are mentioned as question mark over here. So we are going to make our income statement, missing figures would be calculated. Hopefully you have understood the performer and format. The second important thing is we will be very much related with per unit cost, and that would be calculated by taking amount and divided by number of units. In the similar manner, if you want to calculate the amount, for that purpose you will take units and will multiply with per unit. First part we are going to solve, and for first part we are making sales less variable cost. We will get contribution margin, and then we will have our fixed cost which would be put over here, and we will get net margin. Now understand that this statement would be made for 6 times. What do? We write first part of first column would be used for units, and then you need to put your per unit, and finally you will be calculating the amount for each and every statement. So first of all we will fill the space. This is your first case. 9,000 units are sold. Put 9,000 over here. Then it is said that sales are 2,70,000. Put 2,70,000 over here. And then it is said that variable expenses, these are I think variable expenses, let's see. Okay, variable expenses are 1,62,000. These are variable expenses. Put how much? 1,62,000. All right, so now we are going to calculate our contribution margin, which would be the difference between variable cost and sales. Your sales are 2,70,000 and variable cost is 1,62,000. This way you have calculated your contribution margin. Let's go back to the question. This was the first case. Per unit contribution margin is needed. You can put question mark over here. We need to have per unit contribution margin. And as you know, we have written over here, whenever you want to calculate your per unit, you will have to divide amount by units. So we need to calculate per unit CM. For this, you will take CM and would divide it with number of units. So how much CM is? 1,08,000, and you need to divide it with units. Units are already mentioned 9,000. So actually we should put first statement and then we will divide so that you can take its review as well. 1,08,000 divided by 9,000. So you have got your answer 12. Okay, so let's go. There was one question mark, contribution margin per unit. We are going over here. So first answer is 12 mentioned over here. So 12 has been calculated. First answer, first question mark is also calculated. So it means we can mark it as our completed per unit. Alright, let's go back to the question. We have to calculate our final verdict as well. Fixed expenses are 90,000. Put 90,000 over here. Now we can calculate our net margin, which is difference between contribution margin and fixed cost. So your contribution margin 1,08,000 and subtract your fixed cost, which is 90,000. So we have calculated our net margin as well. 18,000. Come over here. Now you can check your answer. Second answer is 18,000 and 12. So 18,000 net margin, first question mark, and 12, second question mark. So both we have calculated and we are marking it as completed. Answer we have as usual checked. So now you have an idea what we are going to do. Actually, these are 6 different income statements where question marks are put, and we need to calculate. We need to calculate the missing figures. So there were 2 question marks over here. As you can see in our question, there were 2 question marks present over here. And these question marks were for contribution margin per unit, contribution margin per unit, and net income or loss. So we have calculated contribution margin per unit by dividing contribution margin with its units. And then we have calculated our net margin, which is usual, nothing new, because we do subtract our fixed cost from contribution margin to get net margin. In this way, this first part is completed. I'm hopeful that you have now complete stamina and idea what we are going to do for remaining fifths. Now there is something easy for me. What I will do, since this income statement would be used in similar way, so I'm picking it and using to make our next statement. In this way your time would also be saved, plus we can do it in a little easy way. I'm just deleting all the amounts and we are going to see what second case is saying. Again, unit sold, question mark. So this is our first question mark. And then it is said that in second case sale is 3,50,000. Our amount of sale is given, which is 3,50,000. Alright, now these are not question marks, we can remove them and we will see how to handle it in next time. Okay, so 3,50,000 is put over here, and let's see what else is given in the question. We have in second case variable expenses are also with question mark. So here you can put question mark as well. Then next is contribution margin per unit is 15. As usual, we will choose this space for per unit as we have calculated over here. So per unit CM is equal to contribution margin divided by number of unit, and the value has been given to us is 15, which is what? Per unit. So you can write 15 over here, and next is CM over units. And you can see that CM is still unknown and number of units are also unknown. So it means we'll have to wait for CM and units. Go to next part. CM per unit is written. Fixed expenses 1,70,000. Put fixed fixed cost as 1,70,000, and now final verdict is what you will be looking at. Your final answer net operating income is 40,000, which is also over here. So put 40,000. So as you can see that we don't have contribution margin, we don't have variable cost, we don't have number of units. So what we can do it? As in several chapters we have discussed the process of reverse calculations. You have complete idea how to put reverse calculations, and for that let me clear it first. Okay, no fill option is not available anyhow. So we will go from downward to upward. When you are going from downward to upward, what you do? You just change the signs. So first question mark was for contribution margin. So we can do it by going reverse from downward to upward. So fixed cost is originally be subtracted. As you can see over here, fixed cost has a sign of minus. When you will go reverse, sign would be changed, and what would happen? 40,000 from here, and we are going reverse. 1,70,000 was less. Instead of less, you will make it plus 1,70,000 due to reverse calculations. So we have got our contribution margin. So second question mark has been sorted out. So you can mark it as completed. We have again a question mark, and you have complete idea if you have two known amounts and one unknown, and central amount is unknown, then you will always be calculating the difference. So difference between 3,50,000 and 2,10,000 is 1,40,000. So second question mark has also been sorted out. So we can mark it, and now we will go to units which are still unknown. For that purpose, we will go over here, and what is happened? CM contribution margin is now known. So put these amounts now on formula. CM, this is your CM contribution margin. CM 2,10,000. Put over here, and it would be divided by units which are unknown. And our question mark is related to these units. As you can see, there is question mark. So now 2,10,000 is divided by units. If you want to take these units to the opposite side, here it is being divided. When you will take it to the left side, it would be multiplied, and it means 15 multiplied by units, and what you will get on your right side, look over here. Units have been taken from here to the left side. So at right side we will only be having 2,10,000. Now again there will be a procedure. 15 is being multiplied over here. You want to take it to the right side. 15 is multiplied with units, and you want to take this 15 to the opposite side. So it would be divided. What would be left on this side units. On right side you will have 2,10,000 and 15 we are taking from left to right. Here it would be divided. Finally you can get your answer 2,10,000 and it would be divided by 15. So here you have got your answer 14,000, which are your units. So you can put this 14,000 over here. Again it was a question mark, so we are marking it as completed. Blank is filled. First we will go to the question and we'll see how many question marks. This is our second part. 1 and 2 question mark. Units sold. First question mark was units sold. And we have calculated, that is 14,000. It was actually 14,000 we have taken from here. So let's check the first question mark of second part. We go here. First part we can see here is 14,000. So first part has been sorted out. Now second question mark was for variable expenses. Come down and here variable expenses are 1,40,000. Okay, so second answer is 1,40,000, 14,000 and 1,40,000. So it means both answers are correct. There were two question marks. In this way, we are going to calculate all six, and you will have to be very stable, very calm, because when there is a long question, your concentration and focus is uttermost important. So here we are going to calculate our third part. Okay, why it had not appeared over here? Let's do it again. I am using the same headings which are used for the previous part just to save the time. So we are going to solve now third part, and remaining everything would be deleted for the time being. Alright, so now we will also be putting it. Okay, we are clear to see the third part. Our third part is saying as if we have number of units sold 20,000. So slowly and steadily we will complete it. Number of unit 30,000. Third part is 20,000. So 20,000 are number of units. Then next sale is missing. So we can put over here a question mark. Amount of sale is not given. And next is 2,80,000 variable expenses. So come over here. 2,80,000 are your variable expenses. And next, for third part, contribution margin per unit is 6. I'm hopeful that it's 6 and look like 8. So contribution margin per unit is 6, but contribution margin itself is still unknown. Okay, and next is what? Fixed expenses are also unknown. So there are so many question marks in this regard. And for third part, we have 35,000 as our profit. So we can put 35,000 as our profit. So look at the shape. We don't have fixed cost. We don't have contribution margin. We have variable cost, and per unit is missing. 2,000 number of units are missing. So here we will be using the same formula. Per unit CM is equal to CM divided by number of units. Look at this. Same formula has been used for first part, for second part, and now for the third part, same formula is being used. Per unit CM was given in the question. This was 6. So you can put 6 over here. is equal to CM is unknown, but the magic is we do know the units. Units were given in the question 20,000, so put 20,000 over there. What would be the next step? 20,000 is being multiplied over here. We want to take it to the opposite side. It would be multiplied. 6 was already present, and you are taking this 20,000 to the left side. 20,000 was divided on right side. When we will take to the opposite side, it would be multiplied. What left on right side is CM, means contribution margin. It's time to calculate. 6 multiplied by 20,000, you have got your CM. So first question mark has been sorted out. 1,20,000 is your CM. Here there was a question mark. So we can now make it as completed entry. Okay, this is also question mark. Fixed cost is unknown, but we do know if missing figure is in between two known elements, we just take the difference. So how we will calculate this amount? Difference between contribution margin and net margin. Your contribution margin was 1,20,000 and your net margin is 35,000. This way again your fixed cost, which was unknown, now has been calculated. Alright. Now here we have contribution margin 1,20,000, and we will go now reverse. Whenever you are going reverse and you want to calculate your missing figure by reversing your calculation, so what do? We change the sign. Here variable cost sign is less. When you will reverse your calculation, your sign from less would be converted into plus. So if you want to know your sales, what you will do? This contribution margin, and then by changing the sign was less actually, but now you will add your variable cost. So this way you have calculated a missing figure. Sale was also missing, so you are marking it as your completed answer. Per unit cost can also be calculated. It's simple thing. Amount when divided by units. Amount when divided by units, you can get your per unit as well. So amount was 4 lakh. It is divided by number of unit 20,000. So we have got our per unit as well. It may not be asked in the question, but here we will start how many question marks were present. All these changed color amounts were not present in the question. We have indirectly calculated them, and indirectly we have make our answers like this. So third case were having two question marks. In third case we were having two question marks, and what were those? First, sale was unknown. First question mark was sale. Sale we have calculated is 4 lakh. Okay, third part, first answer. Let's go. This is your third part, and first answer is 4 lakh, and our answer is also 4 lakh. So we are satisfied. And now let's see what was next question mark. It was fixed expenses. Third part, fixed expenses we have calculated are 85,000. Okay, go up and see second answer. You can see over here 85,000. So both answers 4 lakh and 85,000 are now been calculated. So come over here, third part, 85,000 we have calculated, and the second portion, sales 4 lakh, is also calculated. So both answers we have matched, 4 lakh and 85,000, which would be like this, 4 lakh and 85,000. Third part is completed. Now we will be focusing on our fourth part. Fourth part is saying we have units sold 5,000. Okay, first we will make the performer, and it's easy for me. I'm just using these figures for old one, and same would be used for making new income statement over here. But obviously for you, there would be a proper way of writing them. You will be writing them again and again. I'm just copying. For the time being, I am deleting old data so that we can be having new data to be filled over here. Okay, the button is not working. Not working. Okay, now worked. And now delete our data. Laptop is doing something wrong, so we are deleting this data. Okay, thankfully it had happened. Now we are up to, after third we have fourth case, so it means total 8 income statements would be made. 5000 are the number of units for fourth case, so we can put 5000 over here. First part of the question is to fill the data. Then we have sales 1,60,000. So put over here 1,60,000 as your sales. Now see what is next. Question mark. Variable expenses. Question mark. And per unit contribution margin also does have a question mark. And for next, fixed expenses are 82,000. Here we can put 82,000 as our fixed cost. And finally, for net margin, there is a surprise for you. It's not profit. When you will see brackets, this is loss. So we have 12,000 as loss, and loss sign would be minus. So your loss is showing 12,000. This 12,000, when you will see brackets, that means it's a loss. Okay. We have completed our statement, but you can see again question marks are present over here. So how would we calculate it? The first thing first is you want to calculate your contribution margin, and there would be reverse calculation over here. Reverse calculation. How? Fixed cost is subtracted in original way, but when you will go reverse, you will change the sign from less to plus. Okay. Now first amount is minus 12,000, and since you are going in reverse way, less was original sign, and now you will change the sign by plus. And how much? 82,000 is your fixed cost. So this way your contribution margin has been calculated, and as usual we will put the formula of per unit CM, which is CM divided by number of units. You can see that there is a question mark of per unit CGM. That is what we are going to calculate. For per unit CM, you need to have contribution margin 70,000 is present over here. So put 70,000 first, and then you need to divide units. In this case, units are provided 5,000. So put 5,000 over here. Statement completed. It's time to put it on your calculator. What you will write? 70,000 divided by 5,000. So per unit cost has also been calculated. We can put over here 14. When per unit is completed, you can mark it as a completed missing figure. It was blank and we have filled it. Again, there is another question mark which is over here, and I have told you, we understood whenever there is a missing figure in between two known elements, you always calculate the difference. So let's calculate the difference. Difference means you will subtract amount of sales and your contribution margin. So this way again a missing element has been calculated and we are marking it as completed. This per unit we can calculate, as we know that amount would be divided by per unit. What I said, amount, it would be divided by units. You will get your per unit. So amount was 1,60,000 and it's going to be divided by number of unit 5,000. So you have got your per unit as well. No matter it was asked or not, but we are calculating it. There were two question marks, but we have calculated three amounts. Let's see what was first question mark. In fourth case, variable expenses. And what we have calculated in fourth case, variable expenses are 90,000. So come over here and see, look at here, 90,000 is written over here. First answer, 90,000. And this was for variable expenses. Second question mark is contribution margin per unit. Come over here, fourth part, and we have calculated contribution margin as 14. So let's see fourth part, second answer. Fourth part is this and answer is 14 written over here. It means both answer 90,000 and 14, 90,000 and 14 have been calculated for fourth part. Look at here, marked 14,000, marked 14, so both answers have been calculated. In this way our four parts are completed. I think it should be considered as part A of this question. It would get a length. So instead of making one lecture, we are dividing this lecture into two parts. Consider this as part A, and soon we are meeting again for the solution of part second, where there will be same four statements would be made for the next part. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Even we have solved all four solutions. For all missing figures are being calculated, but still if you have any query, if you have any problem, if you have any question, you are very open to ask through messages, text or directly meet for your queries. I will surely be trying to answer your questions instantly. For the time being, lecture time for this question has been ended. We surely be meeting for the solution of B part. Up till then, please take care of yourself. And I'm asking to pray for me as well. Thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.